Okay, it looks like I finally have all of my pieces lined up and working. I have to apologize. I am getting a late start today. Um, had some technology problems, but hey, it happens. Hi there! Uh, It's Ron from Ron Alcott Photography. In case you missed something in your life and you didn't know that, that's who I am. I'm Ron from Ron Alcott Photography. So welcome, 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 everybody. Anybody who joins me live, anybody who's watching the replay, anybody from a completely different dimension out there who happens to be tuning in through some sort of time, space-time continuum portal. Welcome. We're glad you're here. Okay, just don't eat our faces. Um, welcome to whoever joined on Facebook. Um, I'm Ron. This is Sunday Morning Live with Ron. And the reason I know that is because it's Sunday morning, we are live, and I'm Ron. So it must be Sunday Morning Live with Ron because that's the way my life works. I don't know about your life, but that's the way my life works. For those of you who are unfamiliar with the concept of Sunday Morning Live with Ron, what we'll do here is I will show you my newest pictures that I've added to my website. What website, you say? Why, I have a website. It's called, strangely enough, ronalcottphotography.com, because my name's Ron Alcott, it's my photography, and it's a website, hence Ron Alcott Photography. Here, let's do it this way. ronalcottphotography.com. Easy enough to remember. Go there, look. Not right now. Right now, we're doing a show. So I would prefer that you stay here and talk to me and keep me company while I'm doing my show. But if you can't do that, go over there, okay, and look, and that will give you information and show you all of my pictures and allow you to buy them. That's a hint, by the way. Buy my pictures. I do have a special going on right now. We are too late now to order pictures and get them in time for the holiday. All right. But if you go ahead and order your picture now, I will send you a gift certificate. And the amount of the gift certificate varies depending on how much you spend, but we'll go into more of that later. So that sale's going on right now, but I suspect that's not what you came for. I suspect you came here to start with because we're going to do 3 different things today. One, I'm going to show you my latest pictures. Okay. 2, I'm going to give you a lesson on how to improve your photography. Now, today's lesson is going to be about photographing the Christmas star. Okay, it's actually a conjunction of 2 planets in the sky. They're going to be less than 0.1 degrees apart from our viewpoint in the sky. Now, obviously, they're millions of miles apart in reality, but from our viewpoint, which, you know, we're humans, and really our viewpoint is all we care about. But they're going to be like this. And to the naked eye, they will appear as one very bright star. But we'll talk about that, and we'll give you some tips on how to photograph that. And then, this will be exciting, I'm going to attempt to simulate a night sky in my very own living room. All right? And we're going to demonstrate the tips that they are offering and other tips that I have learned to try to give you a chance to get the best photograph you possibly can. Okay. And you'll learn why that's important when we get to that part of the show. But first, the first thing I promised you, the very first thing I promised you was a look at my pictures. Okay. Now, usually I like to put them in the chronological order of the way that I'm presenting them in my Facebook posts. However, technology failures. Remember that story? I had technology failures. I had it all set up nice and neat on my new computer, but I didn't have all the transmission stuff on my new computer. So that did not work. I've gone back to my old computer, which has some of its own constraints. And then the internet went down and blah, 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 blah. You know the story. Anytime you try to do something and you let the computer know you're in a hurry, the computer will go down. And that's what happened on multiple points today. But let's look at some pictures. All righty. This one is called Trains A Comin' Round the Corner. This is the number 7 Red River River Lumber Company. I forget what the company name is, but it's the number 7 Skookum engine that is on loan right now to Niles Canyon Railway. And I was lucky enough to have found an event, thank you, Cheryl, that allowed me to go and spend a day photographing this train up close and personal, as you will see. But this one's called A Train's A Comin' Around the Corner. One of the things that I like about this photo is it shows just how much this stuff puts out in the air. This is all steam. This is diesel. Okay. It's actually a diesel-fueled steam locomotive. Okay. And when you blow it up, you actually can see that this is number 7. See? Number 7 right there. All right. So once again, trains are coming round the corner. This one is called Cadillac Grill because that's what it is. I didn't write down the year of this Cadillac, but this was taken in Reno, Nevada this past summer. I got permission and went up and took pictures in the National Automobile Museum in Reno, Nevada, which is someplace that I have always wanted to go. Been going to Reno on and off for over 20 years now and had never actually made it to the Automobile Museum. It will not be the last time I go. Just chock full of interesting old cars. And I got in a bit of a fix on hood ornaments and grill ornaments. And this one obviously is a Cadillac grill ornament. Reno, Nevada National Automobiles Museum. Another one from the same trip. I did this one in black and white. This one is called 1938 Phantom Corsair. It is a weird car. Okay? It looks like something out of like 1938 Batman comics. Okay? It was very, very futuristic for its time. This is the only one that was ever built. It was a prototype, and it never actually went into production. So this is the only one of this car that has ever existed anywhere in the world, and it's there at the museum. 1938 Phantom Corsair. Just a cool car. I mean, you could see this in Dick Tracy. It would be so cool. Alrighty. Then we jump to Santa Cruz. This was this summer while all the fires were going on. And this one is called Sunbeam Sunrise. I was really happy with the way that I managed to get the sunbeam effect without getting any lens flare. Okay, so technically it is a nice tricky shot. Okay, I also like the way that the sunbeam glances across the water and comes right at my feet. This is from Lighthouse Point in Santa Cruz, California, looking across the Monterey Bay. Okay, down here is Monterey. Okay, this was sunrise, as I said, this summer, late in the summer, after it had been burning for 45, 90 days or so. It was a bad summer for air quality, but a really nice summer for getting pretty sky pictures. So again, Sunbeam Sunrise from Santa Cruz, California. Another one in Santa Cruz, California. This one's called Safe Harbor. I've gone now. That first picture was taken like over here, looking down this way. And now I'm over on the municipal pier, looking back at Lighthouse Point. That lighthouse over there is the Santa Cruz Surf Museum. Okay. And there were a number of sailboats moored out here. Okay. In this nice little protected harbor between that point and the municipal pier. A little bit later in the morning, but still quite early. Shops were not open yet on the pier. So it's called Safe Harbor. I love sailboats. They had a special on Groupon, and I picked up a 2-day basic sailing certification course. No, it's not basic sailing, intro sailing certification from Groupon. And I can't wait to do that. Although it's going to be during the winter because it's only good till February or something. But it'll still be nice. I love sailing. I haven't sailed in years, but I do love sailing. This was taken Thanksgiving week. I went up the Monday of Thanksgiving week, and I went to Lake Tahoe. This one is called Yes, It Is That Blue. I told someone that's what I was doing, and they asked me, is it really that blue? I'm like, yeah, it really is that blue. Even though over the past, 40 years now, 50 years that they've been tracking the clarity of the lake since 1960s. It has declined by 30%. It is still an amazing sight. We need to do everything we can to protect Tahoe. It's a special place. There are places that I go, and I'm very fortunate here living in Northern California, that I can get to a lot of places that I consider powerful spiritual places, and Lake Tahoe is one of them. Lake Tahoe, Yosemite, Pacific Ocean, the Redwoods. There's just so many neat places that are a day trip away from me. living here in Northern California. So I'm very blessed in that manner. Again, this is, yes, it is that blue, Lake Tahoe. We're at the very south end of the lake looking north at that point. And it's morning. Jumping to the other end of the day, we're over on the Nevada side. And I meant to look up, and I forgot. But this is one of the coves on the Nevada side. If you've ever seen pictures of the paddle wheel boat, this is the cove where the paddle wheel boat, the MS Dixie 2, sails out of. Okay, I was there at sunset, and this is looking back, pretty much back the other way. Okay, this is back towards the south and west, across the lake. What you see here, this is actually one of the pier pylons for the dock at the MS Dixie 2. The MS Dixie 2 is off to the right over here. This one is sunset over the mountain. Again, Lake Tahoe, this time from the Nevada shore. And at sunset, obviously, in the evening. That's when the sun sets, so that's when I had to take this picture. This one is, again, from the day that I spent filming with Niles Canyon Railway. This is a close-up of the engine. Yes, I was that close. I was about 3 feet away from the tracks. I was standing about that far away. Yeah, about that far away, just down here. Okay, there we go. Columbia River Beltline Railway. It's hard to read in this little, but it says Skookum. Skookum was a class of steam engine, and this is the number 7 Skookum from Columbia River Beltline Railway. It was so much fun. I encourage you, if you get a chance, this was a special event. They recently have acquired a steam engine that actually once operated on their line, lived through many iterations, and ended up abandoned in a wetlands in North Carolina, I think. But they have now recovered all of the parts. They have the drivetrain, they have the boiler, and they have the cab. They are in the process of restoring it. I saw the drivetrain. I did not see the boiler. The boiler is in Stockton. There is an ironworks in Stockton that specializes in repairing these old boilers. So that's where they are. That's where the boiler is. But that train is the 1744. So this event was just for photographers. There were about 25 or 30 of us on Saturday. They ran it 2 days. And it was a fundraiser. I paid money, which I was glad to do. But everybody there was there to take pictures. And we chased this train up and down Niles Canyon. If any of you have ever driven Niles Canyon, you know that it's a very scenic area. And we would get off of our chase train, and they'd pull the chase train up out of the way, and then they'd bring in the steam train, and they would run it past us 2 or 3 times, go up once and back, and then up and back, and allow us to take pictures, and then encourage everybody to get out of each other's way. We practiced social distancing, some of us more than others. There were some points where there really was only one good spot to get a picture. People tended to bunch up. So I got some alternative shots in those locations. I'm very serious about my COVID protections. I'm 65. I have a history of being overweight. And I just don't want to risk it. So anyway, this one is called Close Encounter of the Skookum Kind. All right. Because I'm right here next to you, the good old number 7 Skookum. Okay. So those are the new pictures on my site. This particular round of 2 weeks. So just to review, we've got Close Encounter of the Skookum Kind, Sunset Over the Mountain. Yes, it really is that blue. Safe Harbor. Sunbeam Sunrise. 1938 Phantom Corsair. Cadillac Grill. And Trains Coming Round the Corner. And yes, I did steal that from the old folk song. She'll be coming around the corner when she comes. She'll be coming around the corner when she comes. She'll be coming around the corner. She'll be coming around the corner. She'll be coming around the corner when she comes. So, I know I'm nuts. I can't help it. I grew up that way. I'm just an insane guy taking pictures and showing them to you all by myself on a Sunday morning. What you gonna do? So, those are the pictures. You can find all of those in the new images gallery at ronalcottphotography.com. Should you care to look further, as I said, I've got a special going right now. If you spend $99 or more, you will get a $10 gift certificate. If you spend $199 or more, you'll get a $25 gift certificate. And if you spend $299 or more, you will get a $35 gift certificate, I believe. It's all laid out there on the website. So go check the website. Get something ordered. Get a gift for yourself or a stocking stuffer for somebody else. The gift certificate you will have nearly immediately. That comes by email. The art takes time to produce, so leave some time for that. It's too late to get it by Christmas, even if you ordered it next day. So, sorry, that's just where we're at. So that's one of the things I told you about that I was going to do. All right, so that's the first one. Is I showed you the pictures. The second one is I wanted to do some announcements before we go into our lesson. Okay. The first thing is that sale that I told you about, and that ends tonight. All right. So if that's something you're interested in, be sure you jump on the site and take advantage of that today. Okay. The second thing is normally I would do this again in 2 weeks. But 2 weeks from now is New Year's weekend. And I am going to take that weekend off. So there will be no show on January 3rd. All right. So then that means the next show will be January 17th. Will be our first show of 2021. So be sure you join me then. It'll be fun. Hi there, Shoot Greatness. Welcome, welcome. See you came in and jumped out again. So that's the second thing. Okay, we're not doing it 2 weeks. It's going to be 4 weeks this time. All right, And then the final thing is Christmas Day. I'm going to take all of my pictures. I'm going to gather them all together. I'm put them on a great big slideshow, and I'm just going to run them with no sound or anything. But if you just want to have some pretty pictures to look at on Christmas Day, I'm going to run all of my pictures just on a slideshow on a live stream all day, Christmas Day, from like 8 in the morning till 6 o'clock at night, if it lets me do that. I'm not sure if it will or not, but I'll kick it off and I'll check back on it every once in a while. And if it dies, I'll restart it. So I've got a holiday gallery that'll be mixed in there. I may try to find some royalty-free Christmas music to go with it, but otherwise it'll just be quiet. Because we can't break copyright laws because we like copyright laws. Copyright laws are good things. You can't just play music because you feel like it, particularly if you're a business. Okay, you can't just stream music over the internet because somebody worked hard to make that music and they deserve to be compensated for their work. As a fellow artist, both a musician and a photographer, I understand and appreciate and support that. So be careful with that. So those are the announcements. All right. So we're right on track. We're about a half hour in. Welcome whoever joined on Facebook. Glad to see you. So we're about a half hour in. We've looked at our pictures. Okay. Now we're about to go and do a lesson on some tips on how to shoot the Christmas star that will be at its brightest tomorrow night. Okay. Now, strangely enough, I could not find really any photography places that are giving out tips on this. Okay. Where I finally found it was in Forbes. Okay. You can barely see at the top there. It says Forbes. All right. And it's an article in Forbes from 17th. When is that? Thursday. How to photograph this week's Christmas star. See it with your naked eyes and live stream it on your phone. Okay. Not that anybody else will be doing that. It's been getting brighter and brighter and closer together. Here in this photo, you can see the two of them. Okay. There's 1, 2. All right. This was from November 13th, a month ago. They're getting closer and closer, and tomorrow they will appear their closest. All right. It will be low above the horizon. Okay. You notice that this isn't way up here in the sky. It's low as the sun sets. Okay. It will be just after sunset. Okay. Here in California, where I am, my sunset is 4:53. So if you don't know what your sunset time is, look it up or ask Siri or ask Alexa. They will tell you. That's how I found out. I asked Alexa. I said, Alexa, what time is sunset tomorrow night? And she said 4:53 p.m. You will want a dark place, as dark as you can get. Okay. For those of us who live here in the suburbs, that's a bit problematic. I will be going around near sunset today to scout some locations. But the planets Jupiter and Saturn will appear almost as one as a Christmas star. Okay, it's called a great conjunction. Okay, They'll be merely 0.1 degrees apart from our view of the sky. Can you take a picture? Yes, you can. Okay. This conjunction, now they come into conjunction like every 20 years. All right. This conjunction is the closest they have been since 1623. Trying to adjust things a little bit to see if I can get more of it visible on Instagram. Bear with me. Okay. And it's the first easy to see one since 1226. Okay. So they make the point, this is the first time we've had telescopes and cameras. Okay. So that's pretty cool. All right. You're going to have to get your timing right. It's going to happen just after sunset, and they actually set together below the horizon right around 7 p.m. Okay, so sunset's going to be somewhere around 5, so you need to get out there probably between 5 and 6. After 6, it's going to get low on the horizon. You get a lot of atmospheric distortion. You're trying to shoot through more of the atmosphere, the lower it is on the horizon. Okay. So here's how to make the very most of this once in 10 lifetimes event with naked eye, camera, telescope, or people will be streaming it. Okay. So with your naked eye, okay, check the weather. It's going to be cloudy, then make a plan to see it a couple days, a day before, a couple days after. Okay, find out when sunset is. Okay, and plan to be in your observing location 45 minutes afterwards. Well, I intend to be there before sunset because as I get into the actual photography tips, there's some setup I have to do, and I'd rather do that in daylight, as I learned trying to take comet pictures this year. I'd much rather do that in daylight than do it in the dark. So I will be there just before sunset while it's still light, doing my setup. But your best observation will start about 45 minutes after sunset. Okay. Good clear view of the southwestern horizon. Okay. If you can get up high, that's better. One of the advantages of being high is it gets you up above a little bit of the light pollution. Okay. You'll see Jupiter appear first, and then Saturn will appear just to the upper right. Okay. The reason for that is that Jupiter is brighter. Okay. So you'll see it as the sunset fades. You'll see the brighter planet Jupiter first, and then Saturn will appear just up and to the right, about 1/5 of the width of the moon, of a full moon. Okay, so they're going to be really close together. Okay, if you have a pair of binoculars, okay, you can look at them and you'll actually be able to see Ganymede, Europa, Callisto, and Io almost lined up, pointing straight in a line between those two planets. So if you've got something that has a fine enough resolution, binoculars are good enough. A camera with a very good zoom. Okay. You won't be able to see the moons with your naked eye. But if you've got something with a big enough alignment, obviously with a telescope, you'll be able to see Saturn, Jupiter, and what they call the Galilean moons, the ones that Galileo was able to see with the equipment that he had. okay, which are Ganymede, Europa, Callisto, and Io. Okay. If you can't get out and see it, if it gets just too cold where you are, or you just don't want to be outside, okay, Lowell Observatory in Flagstaff, okay, will host a YouTube, so they will have the telescope going and commentary from astronomers and editors. It will go from 5 p.m. Mountain Time, 7 Eastern Time on Monday. Okay. And they'll give you all the scientific juju that you need to know. Okay, it'll be about 2 hours and it will end when the two planets have set and are no longer visible. Online event planned in the UK where these folks are showing it, so make a note of that. The Astrophysics Group, the University of Exeter and Exeter Science Center. Okay, from 4:15 to 6:15 Greenwich Mean on Saturday. So that was actually yesterday. Sorry, you missed that one. Photography. This is what I promised you. Photography tips, right? It's not easy, okay, but you can try it. Okay, you can start tonight. You can shoot the whole week. Okay, trying to separate the planets, okay, is on the actual conjunction. You're going to need large telephoto lens and manual camera. A smartphone is not going to work. Okay. But if you're like me and you'd like a picture of just the brightness of the conjunction, hell, go out and take some pictures, man. Even if you don't take pictures, go out and see this thing. I mean, it's been 800 years since people have been able to see this with their naked eye. So sometimes we get all caught up in our technology and we want to get the perfect picture and we want to get the perfect. Go see it. Man, things are happening in the universe. Go see them. Look at them. Burn them in your brain. Okay? Here are the tips. Get there about 2 hours. You'll have about 2 hours from about 45 minutes after sunset, which is when darkness comes, until the planets sink from view, so don't waste your time. Find a good observing position with a good low view to the southwest. Okay. You'll want a tripod if you're using a camera. Okay. Because it's going to be dark. If it's dark, to get enough light in your camera, remember we've talked about the whole exposure triangle, you're going to need to take a long exposure. Okay. If you take a long exposure and you're holding your camera is going to shake. You will not get a good picture. All right. They're suggesting a zoom lens of 400 millimeters or above. Okay. One of the people whose photography I follow is in Florida. I've seen some pictures he has taken this week with his 600 millimeter, and they are just incredible. But he will tell you 600 millimeters and severely cropped. Okay, so you're going to see all these pictures out there. Okay, and they're going to look big and huge, and they're going to have these great clear images of the two planets and the moons between them, and they're going to look like they had this great view just in the center of the sky, and we're able to zoom in and see. No. Okay, we've talked about post-processing. They will have been cropped. Okay, This particular picture that I saw was taken with a camera that has more than twice the number of sensors that my camera has. Okay. So, and a 600 millimeter, $10,000 lens. Okay. So he's able to get a really big f-stop. Okay. A really wide open lens. And he has the equipment to get it stabilized. And he shot for 10 seconds. And got a beautiful picture. We'll see what mine come out as. I don't expect them to be that good. Okay. You want to watch your exposure time. Anything over 10 seconds of exposure, over about 15 seconds of exposure, you will start to see trails because the Earth is rotating. So you want to stay within 15 seconds on your exposure. You want to get your aperture open as large as you can get it. Okay. Okay. And you want to use a time delay. Use a tripod, turn off your image stabilization, use a time delay. Because even though you have it on a tripod, just hitting the shutter will cause the camera to shake. Okay. So by putting it on a time delay of 10 seconds, then that shake will have a chance to stop before the shutter actually clicks. Okay. If you have a digital single lens reflex, a camera that has a mirror in it, use the setting that allows you to flip the mirror up ahead of time, because moving the mirror up out of the way can cause the camera to shake. Okay. And you want to have no shake, right? Remember, we've talked about shake. We've been talking about getting tack sharp pictures. You need to have your camera absolutely still. So use a 10-second shutter delay to let your camera calm down. Turn off image stabilization so that the image stabilizers are not shaking your camera. Okay. Get it on a tripod. Okay. Test some settings. They're suggesting you start at 400 ISO and a 1/60th exposure. They're suggesting an f2.8. Okay. f2.8 you can get, okay, if you have a very, very expensive lens. Okay. The best I can get on my zoom lens is f5.6 with the zoom all the way out. And when I zoom all the way in, it's like 6.3. So I'm at a disadvantage there. I'm going to end up with more than a 60th of a second. Take lots and lots and lots of different frames. Be sure you don't overexpose. Keep underexposing. Okay? Because remember, in post-processing, if you blow the exposure out, you have too much exposure, you can't bring anything forward. But if you're a little underexposed, you can make it brighter without losing any of the detail. Okay? Okay. So you can go back and try on other nights. You'll still get some great shots. They're going to look super close for the rest of the month. Okay. So this is how things are going to be lined up in the sky, looking towards the southwest, Jupiter and Saturn, and then the moons of Jupiter all lined up, which I just think is amazing. Okay. And then one of Saturn's moons. I don't expect to see all of that with my measly 200 millimeter zoom, but I will see as much of it as I can. Okay. If you've got a telescope, go to Forbes, find the article. Okay. I don't have a telescope. You're on your own. All right. If you've got a telescope, you should be reading telescope articles, not watching photography shows. All right. So again, this is on Forbes. It was published on December 17th. How to photograph this week's Christmas star, to see it with your naked eye, live stream, and take pictures. Okay? And also how to do it with a telescope. Life is just too fun. Hi there, Noah Legal. Thank you for joining. I can't tell if you're still here or not. But if you are, hello. Nope, doesn't look like you are. But thanks for dropping in. I appreciate it. So those are the tips. Now, for the great experiment. I'm going to try to simulate this in my living room. Should be interesting. I have things set up as black as I can get them in my living room right now. Okay. I think I want to go. Oh, and Sarah Wood Carter joined too. I had lots of people visit me. But before I go in there, I'm going to do one other thing here on my phone before I jump in there. If I can find the control again, I want to turn off the light on my fish tank, because that is going to start turning on very soon, if he hasn't already. So here we go. Connecting to that device, and do a manual off. There we go. There. Turn the whole bloody thing off. All right. Good. Now, bear with me. I'm going to run to the other room. We're going to do this. Okay. You won't see me in there. You'll see the little target I'm using. And I'll explain it all when I get there. One last time, our images this round were trains are coming around the corner, Cadillac Grill, 1938 Phantom Corsair, Sunbeam Sunrise, Safe Harbor. Yes, it is that blue. Sunset Over the Mountain, and Close Encounter of the Skookum Kind. And if you just heard that part and don't know what any of that means, go back, watch the beginning of the show. I tell you all about them. I'm not going to do it again. So, that's the big and small of that. We are not doing Sunday Morning Live in 2 weeks. We'll be doing it in 4 weeks. After that, we'll be back to 2 weeks. I'm just taking New Year's weekend off. Hopefully to do something fun. But if not, I'm just taking it off. Get over it. I will be running Christmas slideshow. So I'll be running through all of sort of a best of my pictures. It'll be on a slideshow loop. I will try to find some royalty-free Christmas music to go with it. So if you just need something to play on the TV while people are unwrapping gifts or anything and you want some neat pictures, that will be an opportunity for you to see some. And don't forget that gift card with purchase deal runs through tonight. So go to the website. You can see all the details on that. It's pretty neat. It's pretty neat. Or if you're on the newsletter, look at the mail blast that I put out this week. The newsletter is coming today. Sorry. And since I'm going to go play with the camera, I'll still talk to you. But just while I've got you here, I just wanted to wish you all happy holidays. I hope you and your family make the best possible thing that you can make out of this weird, bizarre holiday of this year. Help is on the way. It's going to get better. It really, really is. This is not forever. Hang in there. Hang in there. You can do it. I know you can. We're all going to do it. We're going to do it separately together. Run that through your brain. Now let's look at what I can do with my pictures. Here we go. All right. So I am running off to the other room. We'll play a little Jeopardy theme. Do, 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 do. Oh, I also won't be able to see any of your comments, if you make any, on Facebook while I'm in the other room. On Instagram, I can see you. But Facebook and YouTube, I see through my camera or through my computer, and I'm away from my computer. So here we are. All right. Let's see. Yeah, you're gonna have to bear with me because this is really bizarre. Okay, so what I'm doing. Hello, Sarah Carter and Shoot Greatness. Okay, so I am now in my living room, and you can see I have set up a target. This is actually Neowise Comet. Okay, and you can see my settings there better than I can. All right. Right now, I've got it set on aperture priority, so I could set my aperture to its highest level, which, as you can see, is at this zoom is 5.6. I have it on a tripod. I have it on manual focus. See if we can focus a little bit better. For some reason, my ability to monitor while I'm on this DVD thing has gone away. So I'm doing this all through monitoring on Facebook or on Instagram. So it's really quite bizarre. Okay, so I've got it on manual focus, which is what you will want to do, because once you get it focused, this is not something that's going to be moving closer or further away from you. Once you get it on manual focus, it will be fine. You're going to hear as I click this shutter that it is on a 10-second delay so that we don't have any movement. You hear the beep? That's the 10-second delay. That flashing light that you saw there, that's a range finder for my auto zoom, but it also helps count down. the time. Okay. That exposure was much longer than 1/60th of a second. So we're going to try a different shot. Okay, so let's look at that shot. Okay, so we're playing that shot. We should be playing that shot. Okay, there we go. Okay, there it is. Okay. Now you see that's kind of bright. So now we're back to the live shot. I'm going to unhook for a second, see if I can get a little bit better focus on my target here. I'm going to cheat. Go all the way off to the edge. Nope. Off to the other edge. Nope. All right. Go back in here. I think I took it out of focus. I think I need to set the focus back to right about. Part of the problem is my focus was not that good when I was taking these pictures of Neowise. Okay. So that should reconnect in just 1 second for you to see. And here we go. We're going to switch over to, there, that's back in the picture playing mode. See how bright that is? We don't want it that bright. We want a dark sky. Okay. So we'll switch back over to shooting mode. There it is. All right. And we're going to switch over to shutter priority. We're going to switch over to manual. We're going to leave our aperture where it is. All right. And again, I've got to unhook to see all of it. Okay, shoot manual. Okay. So now we've gone to the settings that were recommended in our article of 1/60th with our greatest aperture, okay, and ISO 400. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and take that shot. You'll hear it count for 10 seconds again. All right, let's see what that looks like. And again, bear with me because there's a delay on Instagram. I can't actually see it yet. It's still in picture processing mode. Okay, it took the picture. And now, okay. Now you can see that is very, very dark. All right. So I think I'm going to want a slower aperture than that because I don't have an f2.8. All right. So let me go to a slower aperture. All right. Again, I have to disconnect to see what I'm looking at. Go back to my camera mode. And we're going to go down to, say, about half that speed, 1/30th of a second. Yep. Nope. 1/30th of a second. We'll plug him back in, which will put him back in that mode. All right. And then we'll take our shot. So this is the process that you'll want to go through. Use your tripod. Get things as steady as you can. And just start trying settings. See what you can find that works for you. Remember that even if things look a little dark on your photo, okay, you can always bring the brightness up in your post-processing. You can't take the brightness down if it gets too bright. All right. So I'm not seeing anything on that picture. So I'm going to try one more. And again, I'm going to cut it in half to 1/15th of a second. There we are. Okay, and that'll put it back in. All right. And once you see that come back on, okay, we're going to shoot the shot. All right. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm just looking at something else here because it looks like my exposure balance has kicked in. It looks like it's gone to something else. How extremely bizarre. All right. Okay, and the other one I'm going to try one last time. I don't know why we're seeing a -2, but here you are. This is what it looks like at 1/15th of a second. Okay. And then the final thing I'm going to try is we're going to double the ISO to 800. All right. ISO is going to 800. Okay, we're going to leave the rest of the settings the same. Now notice I haven't changed my focus at all since I took that. All right, so here we go. Double the ISO. Okay, so we'll see how that one looks. And let's wait. I'll wait for that one to catch up with us on Instagram. Okay, not seeing it yet. That looked like our little picture taking thing there. Okay, it still all looks black, doesn't it? What a shame. Okay, so this is why you test. You test and you test and you test. You try things. All right. I'm going to need much longer shutter speeds than I am shooting here. Now, it's going to be right as it gets dark. All right. So it's not going to be the same at all. So, but it's always good for me to try to set these things up and test. So go tonight and test. Go tomorrow night, shoot for real, and go the next 2 nights and shoot some more just to make sure that you got everything that you wanted to get. Okay? So, we've gone a little bit over time. I am back. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. You have a happy holiday, okay? No matter what. No matter if it's not like any other holiday you've ever had, make it happy. Be happy. Be happy. You're the only person who can do that. Be happy. Be good to yourself. Be kind to other people. And become the person that you would like to meet. Peace out.